How's it going, everyone? Welcome back into the channel. Happy Friday to everyone watching. So the Green Bay Packers just released their final injury report of the week ahead of this Week 15 matchup, a must-win versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it includes 7 questionable players and 1 doubtful. So a lot of very important injury updates ahead of this game. Before we dive into the injury report, I want to remind you guys there's still 5 more days to enter in this next round of giveaways. The giveaways are this signed Lukas Van Ness Packers football here, and then also this signed framed Clay Matthews Packers photo here. Decided to go with 2 edge rusher giveaways for this giveaway. Thank you to Pristine Auction. Pristine Auction is your go-to spot for signed sports memorabilia, especially the Green Bay Packers. You can see there are a ton of different items with no reserve, all on auction, and you can get some really cool items here on Pristine Auction. You see signed jerseys, helmets, framed jerseys, you name it. Pristine Auction has it. Everything behind me is from Pristine Auction and also signed and authenticated. So to enter in the giveaway, head to the link down in the description, sign up on Pristine Auction. That'll enter you in this giveaway and all future giveaways. I'm doing these 2 until the 20th, and then I'll do another 2 giveaways to round out the month of December. Signing up will also get you $10 off your first order. So if you bid on a cool item and win it, you'll get $10 off that. It's a win-win. All right, so without further ado, let's dive down into this final injury report of Week 15. So let's bring up the Packers injury report, and at the top, we see Jaire Alexander. He is yet again questionable. Now, I don't really know what to think of this because the last 2 weeks, Jaire was questionable. And, you know, in my eyes, I was like, okay, this guy's going to play. He was, you know, practiced all week in some fashion, limited all week for the last 3 weeks, and was questionable the last 2 weeks and didn't play in both of them. Was downgraded to out, I think, on Saturday of last week. So tomorrow might be a good sign. If he's obviously not downgraded, he might end up playing in this game, and the Packers definitely need him back. So hopefully Jaire can indeed play in this game. A.J. Dillon actually practiced today with his broken thumb. He didn't practice Wednesday, which was an estimation, but he didn't practice yesterday, which was a light practice. I think today was more of the full practice. He actually got limited today, and this is a broken thumb for A.J. Dillon. I'm not sure what hand it's on, but I've had a broken thumb before. It's not comfortable. It's not something I could just go and play in an NFL game and carry a football around. That's for sure. But it looks like he's still attempting to see how it would be to play with this broken thumb. Today, he was wearing a cast in practice, and Matt LaFleur was asked, you know, what are his chances to play? And he said, we're kind of working through it right now. We'll see where we're at. He had it padded pretty good. So it seems like the Packers are at least thinking about the idea of A.J. Dillon playing, but my best guess is Aaron Jones will be back for this game, and they'll simply just sit A.J. Dillon for this week, or maybe have him active as a reserve, but he won't play much at all. So A.J. Dillon is questionable. Next, we see J.J. Enagbari with his toe injury. No designation. He'll be good to go. Elton Jenkins, it was as we thought it was yesterday. I did not participate, was just rest for Elton Jenkins. He holds no designation. He was limited today, so he'll be good to go. Aaron Jones is questionable, and Matt LaFleur said he did what he needed to do today. So that basically is signaling the return of Aaron Jones, limited all week. He is questionable, but I see him definitely playing in this game, and hopefully Matt LaFleur can feed him the football if he is ready to receive, you know, the ball, or receive his touches, his normal touches, and, you know, can provide a spark for this offense, especially if A.J. Dillon, you know, can't play in this game. Then we see Keyshawn Nixon with his quadricep injury. He was limited all week, holds no designation. He'll play. John Owens, same thing, knee injury, limited all week. He'll play. And Jaden Reed, no injury designation. This is awesome here because we saw a new injury pop up, ankle, and he was limited all week, but we thought it was a concussion after that game against the Giants, but it was actually an ankle. But then after Monday, Jaden Reed pretty much said, hey, I feel fine, I'll be ready to go, and that's exactly the case. Limited all week, no designation. He'll be, again, a focal point of this offense with Christian Watson basically being out of this game. Darnell Savage didn't practice all week and is questionable. Highly doubt he plays in this game. I'm actually surprised to see questionable, considering he didn't get a play of practice. Actually, watching back that game, I think I saw where Darnell hurt his shoulder. It was the one running play by Tommy DeVito when Darnell laid a pretty good hit on him. It looks like Darnell's arm got caught under himself when he fell to the ground, and it looked really awkward. So I'm sure that's when he hurt his shoulder. So he didn't practice this weekend. Is questionable again. I don't see him playing this game. So it will likely be Rudy Ford and John Owens, and maybe a mix of Anthony Johnson Jr. in the safety room. TJ Slayton with his quadricep injury, which was a new addition this week. No problem for him. Limited all week. He will go. Eric Stokes is questionable. I believe they still have to activate him, which they would have to make then a corresponding surrounding roster move, cutting someone. Who that will be, I'm not really sure, but I see that happening either later today or early tomorrow, and Eric Stokes will be ready to go in this game, in my opinion, and may get some snaps, maybe 10 to 15 snaps on the defense. Quay Walker limited again today. This is huge, and he is questionable. One seeing did not participate on Wednesday, which they didn't officially practice, so I wasn't too worried, but limited Thursday, limited Friday is huge for Quay Walker. Even though he's questionable, I actually do see him playing in this game, bearing any setbacks, but it would be nice to get Quay Walker back into the mix at inside linebacker. Then we see Christian Watson didn't practice all week. He is doubtful. Kind of surprised the Packers aren't simply just ruling him out. Maybe it's a game plan type of thing where they want to at least worry the Buccaneers a little bit, but Christian Watson isn't playing this game. It's going to be a second straight week in a row out with the hamstring, and hopefully he'll be able to return against the Panthers. But again, the Packers are going to have to game plan slightly differently without Christian Watson out there with all these other wide receivers and do a better job than they did last week. And speaking of which, Tay Wicks on the bottom here, shocked to see questionable. I thought for sure this guy was going to be out a couple weeks after we heard the slight report of a high ankle sprain, but that's likely not the case anymore, as he practiced Thursday and today as well and is listed as questionable. So it'll be big to at least hopefully have him in this game, to have Tay Wicks, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Samori Toure even got some snaps against the Giants. Malik Heath got his first NFL touchdown. You know, these guys need to step up in Christian Watson's absence to get this offense rolling against the Buccaneers, who allow the third most passing yards at over 260 against the pass. So Packers should be able to get this thing rolling in the air, and that all starts with, you know, Tay Wicks, Jaden Reed, Dobbs, Heath, and Toure. Then to quickly go over the injury report for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and all their designations, cornerback Carlton Davis didn't practice all week. He is out of this game. Jameel Dean, their other cornerback, is questionable, but was a full participant yesterday and today. He'll likely play in this game. Defensive lineman Will Golston is out. Chris Godwin is questionable. He got a full participant today. Didn't expect to see, DNP, then to full, right after. So the fact that he practiced in full today tells me he's going to play in this game. I was kind of hoping he wasn't, but he's definitely going to play in my opinion. Safety Ryan Neal didn't practice all week. He is doubtful. Long snapper Zach Triner is questionable. That's an important one. I see him playing, but if you're down a long snapper, I don't know if they have another one on the roster. That's big news in my opinion. Then we see Vita Vea, who didn't practice all week. This is huge for them. He is doubtful, so unlikely Vita Vea plays in this game. Then Devin White, who was a full participant yesterday and today, is questionable. I see him playing, but nonetheless, out Vita Vea, out another depth lineman in William Golston, and out a cornerback in Carlton Davis is big for this Buccaneers defense. And the Packers, should be able to have a nice bounce back game and get this offense rolling, where it was very stagnant, stale against the Giants. I think this will be a bounce back game in Lambeau. It's a must win. The playoffs start now for the Green Bay Packers, and I think they can get things going with Jordan Love, Aaron Jones, if he plays, and some of these other wide receivers go a little bit more vertically against the Buccaneers than they did against the Giants, and hopefully get a win here in Week 15. But that about does it for the final injury report for the Green Bay Packers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 15. If you did enjoy the video, I release updates every single day on the Green Bay Packers, such as injury reports, team news, game analysis, and all of that sort. So if that does interest you, go down and click subscribe if you haven't already. But that about does it for this one. I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, go Pack Go.